but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me. I tried to talk to him. He ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me, but he ain't listen to me. Did I make it in time? What up, though? It's your boy. Go and see Spaceship Oasis, the Incredible. Back for another edition. Back for another edition of In This Corner, your Raw recap. What a twist, you know. Let's talk Raw, shall we? I'm trying to invite some people. How y'all feeling tonight? Y'all good? I'm good. I'm chilling. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to my Facebook. I'm trying to see something. First of all, I want to shout out Monday Night Raw and Triple H, right? Because I'm so goddamn happy that Raw was only 2.5 hours. Hold on, y'all. I'm just, checking to see if I can get some people on here. We're going to talk some Raw. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw. You feel me? What up, though? Okay, I'm here. What up, my baby? How you feel about Raw? Oh, okay. Now I'm ready. I started the show today and I wasn't even ready. It's tea. I'm not drinking no liquor today. I appreciate that it was only 2.5 hours. I looked at the goddamn time when the Finn Balor and Damien Priest match started. I said it is 9 goddamn 10. And then we gonna get to that match. That match was fucking exceptional. I almost said the wrong word. I almost said inceptional. Exceptional. Right? And so I looked at it. I said, it's 9-10. What the hell are they planning on doing? Oh, yeah. Look, first of all, I was excited because they gave us 5 matches tonight. Right? I was excited about that. Second of all, you had a lot of shit in these 2.5 hours. This 2.5 hours felt so goddamn action-packed. Like, I really didn't have time. Lately, let me tell you, when it's 3 hours or recently, I've had time to go do other shit while wrestling was on. Right? Tonight, I felt like if I moved, I was going to miss something. The promos were simple. The best promo, dude, the Finn Balor, Damien Priest blew me the fuck away. And I'm not really a big fan of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a big fan of them. I thought that the feud dragged out a long time. There was there was 2 parts. 2 parts that really didn't wet my whistle tonight. But they was okay. I saw the purpose in one. The other one, so what? But I want to say this, and I'm going to talk about this later because I realized this when they announced the matches for Saturday night's main event. WWE and Triple H is trying to compartmentalize. They're trying to give us good matches on Raw, but Saturday night's main event has to be main events. I like the first one that had Cody and KO. This one they're going to have Jay and Gunther. Right? And can Jay win? Because for me, I don't see them putting Gunther. Who are they putting for Gunther to wrestle? Even if Jay and Gunther fight at Saturday's main event, which is like a week before Royal Rumble. Who is Gunther going to fight at the Royal Rumble? Is it possible Jay wins and they get a rematch at the Royal Rumble? Don't know. All right, let's talk about Raw. Raw, like I said, was action-packed. They came from San Jose, California. Shout out to my brother, Brandon Jones, out there in the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area. The Bay Area is beautiful. But CM Punk comes out. And, of course, we know he beat Seth Rollins last week in an amazing match. They love Punk so much. If he became a heel right now, I think they would leave so much money on the table. I don't know. I don't know if Punk is in that echelon now where he can't be a heel. If they're going to like Cena, like Randy Orton, I know they may turn them, but I think even if they turn them heel, they'll still get cheered. I think CM Punk is in that echelon right now because his pops and his cheers and the way the crowd was. Shout out to the crowd. This was a great fucking show tonight, people. The crowd was amazing, right? So CM Punk comes out. He says Seth Rollins is no longer on his plate. He mentions John Cena. You know, time is now. And even though he did this last week after the match, a lot of people didn't see it. He announced himself for the Royal Rumble. We got Cena in the Royal Rumble. We got Roman in the Royal Rumble. We got Punk in the Royal Rumble. Seth comes out. And he's still getting cheers. And Punk had a crazy line. He was looking at the camera. He said, "Why can't this be Rhea Ripley?" Interrupted me. That was hilarious. Like, fuck. And I felt him. Like, fuck, bro, I beat you. Leave me the fuck alone right now, right? But Seth comes out. He announces himself for the Royal Rumble. And then Drew McIntyre comes out. He talks all his shit. And it was a little weird right here because I know Punk and Rollins want to fight, and Rollins wants to fight Drew, and Drew's trying to tell Seth, like, you know, you don't see what's happening. And, you know, I like how Drew is saying, like, listen, we all fighting amongst each other, but Roman is puppet mastering again. Y'all ain't even seeing, and it's crazy how Drew has an obsessive compulsive disorder. This new character, he gets obsessed with people. He was obsessed with Punk. And Punk wasn't even his battle. When Punk came originally, it was Punk and Seth. Seth was upset at Survivor Series. And even when Punk got hurt, it was Drew that kept that shit going. Right? So then, and now he's obsessed with Roman. Roman ain't fucking thinking about you, bro. Even KO mad at Cody. KO ain't even really speaking on Roman that much. Not as much as Drew. I mean, I get it, but you know, it's dope how both of them have that problem with Roman. Roman has burned so many bridges that now it ain't. I don't like you because you cool with my enemy. You cool with my op. I like that because that's real life. If my best friend has a problem with somebody, I don't fuck with them. And if you get back cool with them, I'm questioning you. Because I still don't fuck with them. All of a sudden, I don't fuck with them now because you fuck with them. You didn't fuck with them, so I don't fuck with them. So I get that. Seth says last week was the worst loss of his career, but he's going to be in the Royal Rumble as well because he wants to make sure Punk doesn't get it. And then Drew comes out. Drew declares himself for the Royal Rumble. So I'm like, are they really going to do this Gunther versus Logan Paul match? And of course, this is before Jay came out. But I'm like, okay, you putting Rollins, you putting Rollins, you putting Drew, you putting Punk in the Royal Rumble, right? I don't see Priest or Balor getting a title shot. Who are they? Before we announce the Gunther match, I'm like, who are they going to get Gunther for the Royal Rumble? I pray if they do lose Logan and Gunther, I hope that they do it at Royal Rumble and not at WrestleMania. Because at WrestleMania, I think Gunther might lose. A lot of weird matches happen at Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar versus Bob Holly. Undertaker versus Rey Mysterio, Edge versus Dolph Ziggler, Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon. Like a lot of they try people at Royal Rumble. I can do a Gunther versus Logan Paul at Royal Rumble because that means that means Logan's not gonna win the title, and that also means he's not gonna be in the Royal Rumble to win the championship, the spot. So I like that. And he's gonna give you a good match, right? So I'm sitting here like, who are they gonna have Gunther fight? And I'm not sure if I want them to fight Jay because I understand. I see why Jay beat Drew now. I see why Jay beat Drew. But is Jay going to win and then lose like he did with Braun Breaker? Is Jay going to win and end up fighting one of these people at WrestleMania? Is Gunther going to beat him? And then what happens to Jay? Does he go back? Because Gunther, and we're going to talk about that later, but Gunther talked about, right, how you're nothing but a glorified tag team wrestler. I said, ooh, you're very good tag team wrestler, some shit. I should have wrote it down when I first heard it. I forgot. If y'all know what it is, put it in the chat box for me. So then you had the Chad Gable match. And I forgot for a minute there why Chad Gable. I said, okay, American made, yada, yada. Who is he going to wrestle? That was on me. And because they switched it, right? And I think there was a good thing they did switch it because I wouldn't have wanted Ray and Penta to fight New Day because New Day can't lose. And Penta can't lose. So I like this. And they making Chad Gable's music match the "You Sucks" of the Kurt Angle, so the crowd can hit him with the "You Suck" chant. Chad Gable is amazing. He can wrestle with anybody. They had a lot of great moves here. And then Penta came out, and Penta brought tears to my eyes. Like, I got a little misty. I said, Penta is here, man. Fucking Penta guy. And I want to give a shout out to Lucha Underground. Have any of y'all watched Lucha Underground? Hold on. Hold on. Lucha Underground, y'all don't understand. That's where Ricochet came from. That's where Swerve came from. That's where Santos Escobar came from. Jeff Cobb. Penta. The first time I saw Penta, he was fighting Vampiro on Lucha Underground. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I just met up with some family. I just met up with some family. So I want to give a big shout out to Lucha Underground. There's a lot more wrestlers that was in Lucha. Ray got in Lucha. You know, Jack Swagger got in Lucha. But if you didn't watch Lucha, Io Sky was in Lucha. Kairi Sane was in Lucha. Asuka, I think, was in Lucha for a minute. Y'all got to watch Lucha. So me seeing Penta going from Lucha Underground to Ring of Honor, TNA, AEW, and, you know, I sat there and I said, WWE just know how to make stars. And they get them at the right time. And Penta has grown his craft so much. So now he is in WWE. And people know who he is. That's fucking dope. I felt so bad for Phoenix. Hey, I felt so bad for Phoenix watching that match. Like, damn, Phoenix and AEW just not doing shit. Him and Ricky Starks just over there just drinking Modelo's and shit. Like, this some bullshit. See. Right? Gable. Let me say this. Gable, and I mentioned Gable can wrestle with anyone. Gable is that workhorse. I see big things for Gable because they're trusting Gable to wrestle with the Wyatt Six, with Rey Mysterio, with Sami Zayn, with Penta, to change that, to call that audible, right? To call that audible and say, no, New Day, we don't want you. We're going to give you Chad Gable, because they know Chad Gable is he's a grappler and he's going to work with Penta. Penta won. It was a nice long match. It felt good, 12, 15 minutes. Penta won with the Penta driver. And then he got an interview after the match. And during this interview, I said to myself, they have finally found that star to replace Rey Mysterio. They've tried with Sin Cara. They've tried with Dragon Lee. They've tried with all these Hispanic wrestlers. Penta that won. English is getting better. Penta still speaks Spanish. Penta had the crowd in the palm of his hand. The Cero Mero was not necessarily, oh man, that's my shit. It's not over yet as much as it needs to be, but it will be. And what was dope, I don't know if that was his sister, his daughter, or what, and she just cried. That was so beautiful seeing her cry because those were tears of happiness. My family member has made it. My family has made it. WWE, it's levels to this shit. Like AEW, I watch AEW and I like some wrestlers from AEW, but AEW does not give you that feel that WWE gives you. And I watch all them shits. I just watched Matt Riddle win the title over Kojima at MLW this past weekend. I watched TNA. I watched New Japan. I watched GCW, PWG, Noah, All Japan. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not a WWE fan. I'm not a WWE stan. I love wrestling, right? And I love the indies. And he says this is the Penta new era. I love that. Like he's been waiting on this moment. What up, Mary? How did you like Raw tonight? Tell me how you like Raw. Dom brings Leah flowers. She's pissed. He don't even recognize. He don't even recognize she's pissed. She's upset. But it was a quick Judgment Day segment, getting ready for the main event tonight. I just do see them, breaking up. I don't see them lasting till Money in the Bank. I don't see them lasting till Money in the Bank. And I we'll see what happens with them. And then, we had the Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser match again. And Ludwig Kaiser is just really impressing me. He's really impressing me. Sheamus is solid. Just so hard hitting. And I'm sitting there thinking like, Giovanni Da Vinci couldn't do this. That's why he's not on TV. That's why they broke up Imperial. And sometimes as wrestling fans, we see wrestlers and we're like, they should be on TV more. But they can't put on a good sustaining match. And I'm going to say something right now. It's a hot take. I don't want Jey Uso to win because he's not a good wrestler. Jey Uso is not a good he is a great entertainer. He turns me the fuck up. He is charismatic, but Jey Uso has to get more in his arsenal. He does. That's why the match with him and Jimmy last year was a dud, because all they could do was super kick. He just got better. He's gotten better. Ludwig Kaiser has moves. Sheamus has moves. They can put on a long-lasting and substantial match. So Sheamus wins this match with the bro kick. And the dope thing about Raw again tonight, they let wrestlers sit by ringside, even though they ended up being part of storylines, right? Because after the match, Braun Breaker was sitting out there, Sheamus comes out there, and him and Braun get into it. And that's it. It was only 2.5. Yeah, you could have missed it. I didn't go to sleep tonight. I took me a nap when I got home from work. But we're going to see that match at Saturday Night Main Event, Braun versus Sheamus. Sheamus winning the trifecta would be nice. Honestly, what I would do, I would have Braun beat the shit out of Sheamus, put him out until WrestleMania, and then let Sheamus win at WrestleMania. Also, another thing I noticed tonight, I'm going a couple things. Yeah, Dom and Liv was hilarious. Nobody likes Dom right now. Nobody. And Carlito smelling the roses. It was a lot of shit back there. I don't even want to talk about all. There was a lot of nuggets in that segment. It was funny. Dom is oblivious to Liv and Raquel not giving a fuck about him this week. Right? But I see that at WrestleMania. Let Sheamus win the title at WrestleMania. Another thing I noticed, y'all noticed tonight, all the faces won. I started to think, and I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to tell you when it happened. I started to think Finn might win because you got Penta winning, you had Sheamus winning. You had the announcement of Seth and Drew next week. Sammy comes out, talks to Seth. Seth brings up Roman. Like, I know last week was a good, important week, and he was a little sarcastic with it. Seth and Sammy? Maybe. I still see Seth slow burning the turn. But we're going to see what happens there. But next week, Seth is going to fight Drew. And I like that storyline. Seth doesn't like Roman either. He's not on Drew and KO side, but I can just see that happening because that's the big storyline now. And I wonder how they're going to make that a bigger storyline as we head to WrestleMania. Our wrestlers going to pick sides, like Orton. Whose side is Orton going to pick? Because the Bloodline put him out. The Bloodline got his partner fighting. Well, in kayfabe, right? Then you had Karrion Kross and Miz. One of the segments I didn't give a shit about. Didn't give a shit about the Sammy and Miz match. I went downstairs to check on my son during that match. I came back up when Sammy won. Don't even know how he won. I'm going to say that, but the Y6 moved to SmackDown. And then Miz got on Sammy's ass a little bit. Sammy talked this shit, but Miz was like, dude, I done won the title 2 more times than you done won. And I've been watching all the WrestleMania, so I just got done watching WrestleMania 27. Miz got knocked the fuck out in that match. He was loopy-doopy. Rock was bogus as hell. The Rock was bogus as hell giving that man a rock bottom after he was already concussed. But that's neither here nor there. And then Gunther finally appears. Woo! And I was like, he ain't come out for Louisville. They haven't mentioned Gunther. Gunther did a segment last week on the Raw preview. Where the fuck? And I'm of the mind. I'm an old school wrestling fan. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart. They didn't wrestle every week, so I'm not tripping about. I think the Attitude Era got us so spoiled that we expect to see all the wrestlers wrestle every week. And I think what Raw is doing by putting these mid-card wrestlers wrestling, and even now, when I go to bed, I watch primetime wrestling because I want to see the mid-carders. What made me like these mid-carders? What made these matches, these pay-per-views, worth something? I'm one of the ones that say they should go back to jobber matches. Let a Braun Breaker whoop a nigga ass in 2 minutes. So when he does fight Sheamus, it means something. Like Sheamus fighting Ludwig 3 times. They even mentioned Finn and Damien have fought 6 times. This is their 7th match. How many one-on-one matches have they had on pay-per-view? Right? So then Gunther comes out and Jey Uso comes. Gunther, talking his shit. I'm sorry, y'all. My headphones. I'm all tongue-tied over here. There we go. So, Gunther's out talking about being the champion and, getting his mojo back. And Jey comes. And Jey won't challenge him. Gunther like, okay, cool, but let's be real, bro. And I like Gunther because Gunther's bogus, but Gunther's honest with you. Gunther's not, bro, you're nothing but a tag team. I mean, you won an IC title. Lost it too. Right? But, and he said, main event to you is just a nickname. That's who I am. I'm the main event. Main event is that's just a name given to you by Roman. Right? That's just his name. You got to be a main eventer. And Jey Uso, to me, is not a main eventer yet. He needs to, if he added 3 or 4 more moves, take him off TV, let him go back and get some signature moves. And I just believe Jey he will be ready for the title by that time. Then you had Dakota and Lyra. And at first, I didn't like this match. And it was like very at the first because Dakota did a spot. Now, first of all, Dakota had no music. I thought Dakota was winning. said, oh, they gave her new music. Io done came out with her. She excited. I said, oh. But I was happy, and I mentioned this before. I was happy because the women's intercontinental tournament had a bunch of mid carders. It didn't have, you know, the heavyweights, right? And it was able to make a new star. And I did like this match at first because Lyra, they did a spot on the outside, and Lyra, she's still putting her hand. You can still see her putting her hands down blocking. To be a good wrestler, in my opinion, you got to make that shit be inconspicuous. I've been using a lot of big words tonight. Inconspicuous. I do it real quick. But after she hit that superplex from the ring, ooh, they went on break, but when they came back, it picked up, and you got to see their hot spots. You got to see what they're good at, and it flowed. Lyra made me happy. She flowed. It was good. It was nice. Dakota hit the GTK, which I hate the name of that. The go to kick. The go to kick. The fucking go to kick. Don't call it the go to kick. But anywho, and then when they kept wrestling, they kept doing their thing. A lot of near falls. It was a fluid match until Dakota. Lyra's in the corner, and it was close to the ending sequence, and she was ready to hit her with the kick. She ran so goddamn slow at Lyra. My fat ass could have moved out the way of that motherfucker. But then Lyra hit kind of like a sling blade down on Dakota, hit the Nightwing, and won the title. So congratulations, Lyra Valkyrie. I knew before tonight, before Dakota came out with the new music, I thought Lyra was going to win because Lyra lost, I think, for the women's title. She lost to the Queen of the Ring. She couldn't keep losing in the finals of shit. You can't make us believe her that she's going to be this next top person if she keeps losing. So congratulations to her. Then Michael Cole said something about 1999. Oh, Pat Patterson or something. I said, what? First Intercontinental title, 1999. Oh, yeah, during that match. And then you had Miz versus Sammy. I was like, another match? We still got the main event. Usually, and I can tell you, they've been having 4 matches per show. 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. They've been having 4 matches. They gave us 5 matches in 2.5 hours, which was fan-fucking-tastic. Once again, during this time, my son got to go to bed, so I really didn't give a shit about this match. I kind of knew Sammy was going to win. Whatever. Then Rhea Ripley came out. And this was another spot where I really didn't care about it. Rhea came out. Mommy's on top. You know, I'm the champ. Well, yada, yada. Then Nia Jax comes. Interesting. They fought at, what's that, Elimination Chamber? In Cardiff? In February? So, you know, and then Nia talks about, and Bayley was sitting by the ring, of course. She's from San Jose. And so Nia comes out and she talks about the transfer portal, but then she says she's going to win the Royal Rumble, which I thought was good because they're promoting the men's Royal Rumble so much, they haven't really talked about the women's Royal Rumble. So Nia putting her name in there, and she's still a heel. You know, she still say, whether it's Tiffy time or Mommy's on top, you know, I'm coming for the title. I would like a move for Nia to Raw. I think they do need some heavyweights, but they have a lot of little wrestlers. That's the only problem with Raw. You got Rhea, but then you got Liv, you got Kaden and Katana, you got Lyra, you got Dakota, you got Io, you got Kyrie, you got Zoe. Like Shayna Baszler could probably, but they're not going to do Shayna Baszler, right? And Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax was a tag team, so how would that go? But then, you know, Nia was steady picking on Bayley. So Bayley comes, say it to my face. She's been saying it to your face. You just been a distance, but she's been saying it on the microphone to your face. Comes in, Nia punches her, pushes Rhea. Rhea headbutts her. They get into it. Bayley with some vicious knee strikes. I thought one of them might have hit Nia. Then Mommy hits her, and she gets out the ring. But did you notice? Bailey tried to pick up that belt. Rhea grabbed that belt. Bailey started staring at that goddamn belt. So if Bailey loses to Tiffany, will she move over? That might be good. I wouldn't want her and Nia to move, but I think it might be good for both of them. It might be good for both of them to get out of SmackDown because you got Charlotte Flair coming back there, Jade gonna come back, and Roxanne, who knows, right? But Bailey started looking at that title though. I was like, oh. Then you had the announcement. They're going to be in Dallas next week. I'm a little upset. I want to go, but I can't afford it. Priorities. And if God blesses me, I might go. But I'm going to have to take my son. But New Day will finally wrestle. And I think they finally have their music. I think they're going to have some new music. But they mentioned like new look, new attitude. And then JBL will be on next week. So they're going to be from Dallas. So that's cool. And then at 9:10, once again, at 9:10, they started the Priest Finn Balor match. I was like, what the fuck? A 15-minute street fight? But they fought all over the arena. This match was amazing. They got the crowd behind them. They did the broken arrow from the out up in the crowd to the table, and then took a commercial. And I said, oh shit. That match was amazing. They fought. Then here come Judgment Day. Then here come the War Raiders. The War Raiders are picking up steam a little bit. But they're going to have to get some more tag teams or else they're going to lose to American Made and nothing really going to happen. They need to get like SmackDown a little bit. They come back to the ring after it clears out. There was a time when Priest just sat in the chair, right? Priest just sat in the chair. And Finn hit him a couple times, go to the outside. He hit a coup de grace through the table. And that's so dangerous because at first I thought one of them table slits went through his back, but he started laughing. So I'm like, whew, because I was watching, once again, I've been watching WrestleManias. I watched WrestleMania 30 when Batista and Randy Orton did the powerbomb RKO to Daniel Bryan. And the way that Randy Orton landed, I said that's where Randy Orton really hurt his back. Right there, WrestleMania 30. Because, woo. So I'm very careful about those bumps where they fall on their back. The match was wild though. I think you got a spear through the guardrail, more punches. Let me say this. Ludwig Kaiser's run and shotgun drop kick, masterpiece. Oh, and they show Oba Femi tonight. Love Oba. Awesome. But then he hits a razor's edge. Damien Priest hits a razor edge to Finn through the table. Gets him back in the ring. Hits the South of Heaven. He mentions, "I am not my brother's keeper." And in 22 minutes, Damien Priest finally beats Finn. Well, not finally. He always, for me, they said it was tied, but it always seems like Priest beats Finn when they fight one-on-one. I wonder what's next for Priest. I wonder what's next for Finn. I was watching something and they said, do you even think Priest going to be on the WrestleMania card? Do y'all think Damien Priest going to be on the WrestleMania? Well, who is he going to fight at WrestleMania? Like, really? Who can he fight? But he wins. He covers Finn at the end. I think he was thanking. I always like when they do that because I think they're thanking them for a great match. I think Penta did that with Gable earlier. I think he said, gracias. Gracias, amigo. Like, thank you for a good match. And I think Finn and Priest knew they put on probably their best match that each of them have had maybe in the last 2-3 years. Priest had some good matches last year with Gunther, with Drew, with Seth. He had some good matches, but I think this may have been his best match he's put on in a very long time. And so I think this was excellent. I am truly going to give Monday Night Raw a 4.25 ships. I'm going to give it a 4.25 ships. I think this was the best Raw I've seen since I've been reviewing. I think it was action-packed. I am a wrestling fan. I like seeing wrestling. I want to see them wrestle. I think they built storylines within the promos, the backstage segments. They kept them at a minimum. They didn't overdo them. I do think Sammy and Miz, whatever. I don't get it. I don't yet. I don't like what's going to happen with Karrion Kross and Miz. And do I really even care? Right? Because Karrion Kross was mad that why 6 went over to SmackDown. He can't get his revenge. And he was saying that he think Miz might have put him up to it. So I definitely don't really care about that. We got Seth and Drew, like I say, next week, the New Day next week in Dallas, Texas, right here in my home. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I enjoy Raw. I enjoy Raw. Make sure you go to the YouTube. Make sure in Facebook, you tell me how you feel about Raw. Tell me how you think. What did y'all think about the show tonight? I think it's even more so because it was 2.5 hours. I think, baby, 2.5 hours? I'm all for that. I'm all for the 2.5 hours. Don't give me 2 because you ain't give me enough. Don't give me 3 because you give me too much. I like that Triple H is saying it's going to be fluid. It's not going to necessarily be, and Netflix, that's the thing with Netflix. It's going to be able to give you a differential time. It doesn't have to be, in USA, it has to be this long. It don't have to be that no more with Netflix, and I like that. Give me what I need and go on to the next week or go on to the next show, man. Y'all know who it is. And please put your likes down, subscribe, go to the YouTube, check these out. We are doing the watch party on the 1st for the Royal Rumble. You make sure you check me out Thursday for D Wild Out Radio Thursday Night House Party with DJ Lady J Rock and my girl Jada Ali. We'll be in the building. So that's going to be dope. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a straight, strong, dope ass week, man. Start strong. We out, man. Peace. But he ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. I tried to talk to him. He ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. But he ain't listen to me. Try.